Hey everyone, so far we've been talking about some extremely powerful updates, and if you think about them in great combinations, it's amazing. We can do live chat agents in different languages. It can print in different languages. It can speak live with the user. You don't need to use your hands. It's hands free. It's like an intercom. Okay? But whatever it says, it prints so that you've got the history. And also, if you have a link you should click on or a phone number, it's right there. You can click on it. Okay? This very, very shortly is going to be something that you can just choose whatever language you want. The functionality is there. We're going to build it soon. So, what does that mean? Imagine being a doctor and you have to give a questionnaire and you've got it in print in English. Maybe you have a version in Spanish. But say you have somebody who's Chinese or from Bangladesh or Arabia, somewhere, and they're in your office and they don't really know what's going on with the form, right? Wouldn't it be neat if they could talk to the translator and the translator will ask them the questions? As they answer, the translator will fill everything in and then send that to the doctor. Well, what if AI could just do that right now? And what if that could work in all languages? I'll give you another one. Say you want to talk about house. I had a house painter actually approach me and say, hey, I'm Latin. There are a lot of Chinese guys in my area. I want to be able to pitch pages on my website in Chinese. He said, but the problem is I'm scared that, even if I get that done right, that if they go calling me, I'm not going to be able to handle it. Well, what if you can handle it now? What if when they call in, start speaking a certain language, the system will automatically recognize which language they're speaking and transfer them to the right assistant on the spot? Yeah, and what if your initial phone call could say, hey, para español, druque el número dos, or whatever it is. Druque can't be right. That's sort of a Russian thing. I'm mixing up my languages here. But exactly, you could just say that in these different mainstream languages that might apply to you. But everything, somebody gets in an accident, they can talk to anyone, The point is that we're building the functionality for this. So it's another thing we're offering to companies is, hey, you can get leads in multiple languages and you can handle them, often in multiple languages. And then if you come up to their door, you can still do it on your phone. I think guys do not realize that. Hey, GPT, I'm going to speak to somebody who speaks Cantonese. Every time you hear English, translate to Cantonese. Every time you hear Cantonese, translate to English. Ready? Then set your phone on the table and just have the conversation. Isn't that interesting? Could it be three-way? Well, could. I don't know that we have any reason for doing that, so we're not trying to build it. But yeah, you could. Hey, I'm gonna speak with somebody in Cantonese, somebody else in Spanish, and we all want to speak to each other. So whenever you hear any one of the languages, make sure to translate to the other two languages, and then stand by, for the next thing you hear, and translate to the other two languages. Isn't that crazy? It's possible to do that. So phone calls are going to act like they have a translator on the phone. And that way somebody can talk to somebody else. And the questionnaire can be in any language. You can translate and translate back. Translate and translate back. Fill out the questionnaire and send it in. And the questionnaire can be filled out in different language copies. One for the person who did the speaking so they can see what got sent in. And then the translation for the other guy. The doctors say. Okay? This works for so many cases you wouldn't believe. You could be the pizza guy on the street corner. You could be doing lead call. You could be doing law. You could be doing medicine. Now, it has to be made clear in the script. This is not a legal document. If we run into any questions about the translation, we'll have to dig at this a while. This is not a formal translation, but it should do the job. So, let's give it a crack. We'll work on the wording, obviously. But the wording will just say we're not an actual financial advisor. We're not an actual translation service for legal translations. But this has come up. There have been people who've gotten into spats with the police have pulled them over and tried to ask them questions like, have you been drinking tonight? And they really have trouble answering. And so more and more the world is smaller, right? And then just all these applications that we're doing come into play. So that's fascinating. I just want to let you know that that's happening, okay? It's part of our entire structure. We figured out how to do it the other day. We know how to set this up, okay? So as we go putting offers out B2B, we can make them crystal clear offers about how these things should be done. It can just be audio translation on the phone, or it can be an AI assistant digests and gives them an output in their mail of what the conversation was about, or in a text message of what it is they wanted, or anything. We could fill out the form and send it in. Also, that's another thing. You know how many companies have paper forms, and I hate filling them out these days. I almost never do. If I get a form in my email, I send it to my computer. I have GPT look at it, for example, or whichever service I'm using, look at it, digest what it is, and then ask me the questions that need to be filled out on the questionnaire. That way I can even do it if I'm driving down the road. I can actually take the email, give it to GPT at a red light, and tell it, hey, learn what's on this form, and then ask me by questionnaire exactly what's going on, and then we'll produce an output file that I can copy into a Word doc and send it back to them, or even a Word doc and convert to a PDF and send it to them, or whatever. And I have been doing that. So sometimes people send me forms, and I'll send them forms back that look a little different, but have all the same information on it. And it surprises them a little, but they don't have a problem with it at all. Right? So what if we're making services like this easier and easier for businesses to offer their people? Okay? That's what's going on. We're pooling it all because that is the new state of the world. And so we've been keeping up and building it in, and this is the stuff that takes us so long to get ready and get out the door. But yeah, we're basically there. We can make all these offers now. So, yep, we were updating website installer. So when the website installs, it does the SEO steps properly. We're going to come up with some more of those topical authority files for different industries so we can make that available for people to choose for their new website. We're going to tie in how the Twilio numbers attach to the assistants that we put on the website. This is actually not hard to do. That's pretty easy to do. And we can handle lead qual or outbound calls or whatever. We can offer all this stuff to companies. And then social media management and customer resource management, CRM. So all this is being set up now. Social media, we can have affiliates. We can create a bunch of posts that get scheduled to automatically appear on their social media feeds, multiple feeds at once. The topics will appear, even with images. And it'll be different for every person. So it gives benefit to each website independently. And yet we can run it all together automatically for hundreds of people. So yeah, it's fascinating because all this stuff ties into what we offer, which makes DML extremely powerful. Okay, B2B wants the end result, and to get the end result, they usually barely believe in that, or they believe it's poorly constructed. The leads are not prepared properly, they're not qualified properly, or they're not my kind of qualified. And so being able to just make it easier for them to control and own and pay the rental on this evolving structure that helps ensure all this stuff works their way is something they believe in more. And so some people need an LCA, some people don't. Some people need the lead qual AI, some people don't. Some people need websites set up, pointing people at them. Some people need social media. The point is we're making it all available in a package pieces that they can get together independently for their website and or the websites we generate for them and or the dispatch website system. It's crazy. All right, just let you know, all this stuff's happening. Okay, that's a bunch of videos I just put out for today. I'm going to go ahead and get these things rendered, get them up, and either it's going to be tonight or tomorrow, release them to you, and I'll have more coming very soon after this. Okay.